Welcome back, everybody. It's time to decide who is going to survive Group B and move on into the round of 8, and who will face off in the final match of the winner of the match right after this one.
Yeah, pretty exciting and explosive game so far in both series. I feel like herO versus Reynor, first 2 maps, absolutely ran away with it right from the beginning. And soO, kind of the same story. Just playing a pretty aggressive style in game number 1, and then in game number 2, with these like 4 to 6 lane counterattacks, just being an absolute nuisance on GuMiho's side of the map, catching him off guard in the middle, and then just obliterating him and not letting him after that. Some really fun, really exciting games, and given how relatively aggressive both these guys played in their first series, albeit in different matchups, I am super hyped to see them go head-to-head here.
I don't think this could be like a long death ball game.
No,
I think this has to be like a real back and forth for sure. We're going to be going to Golden Aura here for map number 1, Site Delta for map 2, Oceanborn if we get a map number 3. But this should be an action-packed one for sure, man. soO versus herO. I think herO probably slightly favored. Would you agree, State?
Oh, for sure. I think favorite to get out of this group easily right now. He is possibly the second best player in Korea at the moment. He is looking so strong.
All right, guys, we're ready to go into game number 1. soO versus herO. A fight to see who will advance first to the round of 8 in Group B starts now. Okay, soO here in the top left, herO in the bottom right.
herO with an early pylon scout. I wonder what soO is going to bring to the table here into CVP, all the way from Chicago.
Welcome.
Cheering for my herO.
It's hard to not cheer for herO.
Oh, he's one of the most
such cool play style. Yeah,
he's one of the most fun players to watch by far. Anytime you get one of these super aggressive Protoss players that will just try to kill their opponent, no matter the cost, it just leads to the most great games, in my opinion. I mean, I'm biased, obviously, as a Protoss player myself, but I love like the shenanigans and the crazy antics they get up to.
No, it's so fun. And, you know, he still has that style that really leans on the Zerg. When everybody else was doing a lot more of a slow passive play, he came out with that kind of turtled aggressive like 4th base, while still just making stalkers, using oracles, sometimes teching into disruptors, but just having these really good pushes. And I don't think he's going to deviate from that here or not. So a couple things to note about soO here. It did seem like, and look, I know it's a different matchup, so you can't always like analyze one thing about one matchup and have it switch over, but he seems to want to counterattack with absolutely as little as possible and buy time, where the old soO counterattacked with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and soO also was playing with some pretty interesting build orders in both of his games, excuse me, against GuMiho. So I wonder what kind of adjustments he will make to try and deal with the aggression of herO, because I think beyond any doubt, herO, he's not going to go to the stats-esque style of taking an early 3rd and 4th base and then turtling on a carriers with 2 Stargates relatively quickly. He's the kind of guy that's going to move across the map and try to kill you as best he possibly can. And soO should know this. Pretty much everybody in this group should know it. herO is just notorious for this aggression. And soO in his opening game against GuMiho played a little bit out of the box with that 2 hatchery, fast lair, 2 base saturation, going for Roach Ravagers, and then a late 3rd base. And yeah, that was his EVT. It's not his EVP, but it makes me wonder if he might just try to look to absorb the punch, the first blow of herO, like a sponge, and then bounce back with some kind of macro behind it. But we'll have to see exactly how this game is going to shape up.
We did in you know, our previous PVZ with herO Reynor have the Oracle that was banked that then wasn't used for much, but this time it's going to be a Void Ray.
Yeah.
Now the Void Ray generally is like the most passive PVZ play. It's more of like a sweeping mechanism to clear out Zerglings and Overlords, let you take a 3rd base, and basically ensure you can't be killed. But it does, you know, once you see the Void Ray, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, Void Ray into Oracle here for herO, so it's a pretty safe, slow play coming out.
Which is not bad. I mean, you know, most of these pushes we've seen that have had great success from herO are off of 3 bases, and sometimes an early 4th after that.
By the way, I love the Void Ray movement here by herO. He knows there's an Overlord just sitting in his base, and he knows that if he kills that one first, he's not going to get this Overlord here in the middle, so he's going to try and get this one. The triangle third here of soO is there's a counterattack with a fair number of Lings, actually. And this is one of the pains, by the way, if you go for an early Void Ray, is you don't have that Oracle to support you at the third base. So one Adept already goes down before the Oracle is able to come in. The third Adept had to plug the wall out of fear for a run by, so.
He gets that Oracle out. And, you know, he keeps the third base up. No forced cancel, nothing like that. Second Oracle being produced as we cover this. And it's going to be a little bit of tech here. A Forge and a Citadel. And so, you know, we were talking throughout all of this, you know, the first minutes of this game that herO is aggressive and he likes to get in there and do damage, and of course he's going to do it this game. This is looking really slow.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be slow when the Void Ray came out, but we know it's going to be even slower if there's a Forge starting now and the rest of the tech is still being developed.
That's a little bit of a slow build here for herO, but soO has to be careful. 9 more drones about to pop, and Link production only just now beginning. These 4 Adepts with a couple of Oracles could cause some trouble here. There's only 4 Lings on the map, actually, and 2 Queens over here at the third base.
But,
so.
you know, but he's not going to want to commit with this. This is like all, you know, to try to sell a possible push. I think even though he could have done some more damage, you're right. Like if he had just let those come in and started killing drones, that would be huge. At the same time, though, he knows what he's really doing is teching behind this. So I think he's just going to kind of stay on the outside like this, do damage, try to force out Zerglings, stuff like that.
Able to pick off a couple of creep tumors. soO goes for, what, like 12, 14 more Lings that could have been drones here, as he still hasn't fully saturated his third base, only just now taking the gas geysers there. And herO's going to be going into robotics bait tech, alongside Blink and +1, adding in an additional gateway. And I'm wondering if this is going to be him gearing up for some kind of Colossus play. herO, one of the players in Korea that favors Colossus more than perhaps a lot of the other Korean Protoss players do, as Stargate kind of is the trending play style in this region. Nice catch there by soO. And a second robotics facility too. Huh. Oh, wow, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, suddenly.
The Lings are totally out of position. That's not a bad trade there for herO, getting 6 drones. I mean, it's not cost effective, but those Adepts pretty much already did their job, and Adepts are one of these units for Protoss that drop off in terms of value heavily as the game continues on.
You might as well try to get something done with them instead of just hanging on to them here. He's going to do a little bit of tagging over here inside the natural base. And, I mean, the tech is starting to really build up here for Protoss. We've got the Thermal Lance upgrade coming along here. We had a War Prism that was made a little bit ago. I assume he's going to use that to try to harass.
2 Robo Colossus as well.
Yeah.
In production. Additional gateways underway. And, oh, we have Swarm Host coming in from soO, really?
Whoa. And it's not just like a one Swarm Host, like styling on you, or I accidentally hit that button, Swarm Host. He's making 9 right now. This is kind of wild.
It is, but it's also a little bit scary here for soO, because unless he's able to get a lot of momentum right from the get-go, this could backfire pretty spectacularly here for the Zerg, because herO, he already has a couple of Oracles out on the map. Those are going to be able to keep tabs on, you know, Nidus networks, which I assume will be paired up here with the Swarm Host. And, oh man, getting these drone kills is just adding insult to injury here as soO goes below herO and word count again here in this game. But Colossus, they don't do that bad of a job microing against Swarm Host, especially with Blink Stalkers with +2 ground weapons and Thermal Lance. So I'm a little concerned here for soO. Unless he's able to get the momentum building very quickly with these 12 Swarm Hosts, he could be in trouble.
Oh, big snipe there. He's going to come in. Now, the first wave has to do enough damage to start to build momentum. And I think he could just juggle, just like this. So now suddenly, you know, this is looking a little bit foolish to go for a move like this.
Oh, and he's remaxing on a lot of Lings, too. There's already 4 Colossi on the map, bro. This is going to be scary to hold on against.
Yeah, this is going to be able to melt these small HP units. Really, the Roach is probably the only real beefy threat here. Everything's going to come down. 4 Colossi now. Another warping round should start in a second here. The Swarm hosts are coming. Well, the Locusts are coming out. They're a bit staggered.
Yeah, you don't really want them to be that staggered here.
You need them to come out all at once so the damage can compound.
I'm worried there might not be enough on the ground here for soO unless he's able to take a really good engagement with these Swarm hosts. Okay, they're going to try and basically get a flank set up here where these Locusts as the Colossi are migrating back, but the Roaches on the left side pretty much all cleaned up. And the thing about this composition here for herO, I mean, the Colossi and the Blinkstalkers, the Stalkers can just blink away, and the Colossi can basically also blink away with a Warp Prism from the Locust. I mean, they're quite slow.
Anything that's got a little bit of damage can escape easily, and there's really no recourse here from the Zerg. And I mean, this is going to be a very straightforward push. At the same time, the Zerg tied under very unusual circumstances. We don't really cast games like this ever in modern StarCraft 2. Notice that he's just kind of ignoring the Swarm hosts, confident that over time he'll just beat the Locusts and kill everything else off besides them.
I mean, the Locusts have pretty much no sustained damage. The Roach Ravager count's a little bit too low right here for soO, and I'm afraid after a couple more of these engagements, we might just see soO die from a death by 1,000 cuts, as those Locusts, they're barely getting any kills. And they get one Stalker now, maybe a second one there on the ground, but that's it. That is not worth the money that were spent on them, and that's going to be a GG.
Well,
I told you, man, no momentum, and that will backfire.
Some welcome ideas for sure. The result of it was disappointing, though. I mean, there's no denying it, right? Like, that just did not get anything done. It's like, once you see the first wave of Locusts die, and it's like not more than 1 or 2 Stalkers are killed, you know you're in trouble.
I feel like the build order just did not line up very well there for soO. I'm a bit skeptical of Swarm Host in general, but going up against Blinkstalker with 4 really early Colossus, because keep in mind, herO during all of that, he basically cut gateway units to get all of these tech options up, to get the Forge upgrades, to get the double robotics bay, and then after he had the Colossus fully out was when the Stalker count just ballooned.
Yeah.
But you have that composition against Swarm Host, with a Warp Prism micro on the Colossus and with Blink, the Locust land, you just micro back if there's no follow-up. And then herO just moves across the map, sustaining no damage, goes for the killing blow, and soO was basically helpless.
Well, we're going to go to Site Delta now for map 2. soO certainly not going to go for that unit comp again. Let's see what he's got as this best of 3 continues on.
Let's get ready to rumble, rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. You looking for trouble? Let's get ready to rumble, rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Tell them it's going down now. Let's.
Okay, soO in the bottom right. herO in the top left. You know, it was really fun to see soO try that strategy. I think he was high off of a lot of confidence after that the first series, you know?
Yeah.
And it was really like a thought-out build, but I think he just was completely blindsided by not 2 Colossi, but 4.
With a Warp Prism already out as well. I mean, they're just you literally can't kill anything with the composition that soO had.
It's funny because he went Warp Prism before. A lot of games, the Warp Prism always comes out last because you're just trying to build up to having all the pieces. And generally, the Warp Prism you need last. But he went for Warp Prism first to just kind of maximize what could come out of the Robo.
Yeah, that was... I think the sharp getting of the heat
that's
pack.
how you get the heat pack. You got to break up each part of it.
But, no, it was really smart. Build order selection there by herO. Maybe a little lucky that he ran into Swarm Host, which his build just absolutely dunks on. You know, it's like watching like Shaquille O'Neal try and like dunk on like a high school student with the way those like build orders lined up. But it was really smart.
When Biff threw that ball on the roof in Back to the Future.
It was just a smart opening, and I love how you touched on the Warp Prism too, because that was a really fast Robo, really fast second Robo, and herO got the absolute maximum value out of the robotics facility production time. I think soO was probably taken aback by how quickly those 4 Colossi were on the map, because we had to check in on the unit tab about like a minute or so after herO had taken his 3rd base. And he just had like the opening Stargate units, the Void Ray and the Oracles, and like 1 Stalker. And that was it. And then he was building Colossi. All of the resources were going into the robotics facilities and the upgrades. And it just culminates in this composition, which, luckily for herO, completely obliterates what soO was going for.
Yeah.
But even if soO had played a different style, just the opening that herO went for is a great one to play.
Yeah.
If you're able to avoid the early game pitfalls of aggression, you know, should Zerg go for some kind of really cheesy like Roach Ravager play, that could be dangerous for you. But because nothing like that happened there for herO, he's just able to build up to this perfect composition for battling in the mid game, especially on Golden Aura. Just good build order selection there from herO, man. I'm loving what we're seeing, both from herO and from soO so far today. soO maybe not so much there in the previous game, but his matches against GuMiho seemed really well thought out. And hero's just bringing a different build every single time. And oh, look at this sneaky Adept.
Look at this Baneling Nest right here in the back. Is he going to scout this?
Oh my god, if he scouts this Baneling Nest.
Oh.
You can see soO almost trying to body block him, man. He does not want herO.
18 links coming.
Uh-huh.
He's going for a quick kill here. Now,
I wonder...
I mean, the Adept, I don't think he was really scouting for that.
I wonder if this is a reaction to the way that hero's been walling so far today in PvZ. He's doing a little bit of a different wall in every single game where he has the pylon there in the front, and then later on he builds the second pylon behind the gateway in the core, but...
Wait.
Oh.
Okay, seeing that. Okay,
oh, okay. He should know. He should absolutely know.
He needs to start just sandbagging the entrance here.
Very
he may
few
want to just
drones.
send the Oracle back. Okay, he knows.
Very few drones at the third base as well. Now, the third base is in production here for herO, but that's going to get quickly canceled, I would imagine. 38 probes right now to 20 drones. soO already shift-clicked here on the pylon. It gets taken down. Warp Gate did finish. Only one Baneling alive here, and the natural expansion gets a good hit on all of those probes. Oracles now going to be popping their laser beams. Some surface area here. Nice micro with the probes and the Adepts there by herO, though.
Oh, dude.
Look at this micro.
He could actually plug up the entrance again.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, he can absolutely still hang on here.
The lings we see on screen are basically all that's on the map. The rest of them are going to be rallied across in a moment right now. herO might even be able to save this third base. The third Oracle is popped. The natural expansion is getting walled back in. There is a pylon, or not a pylon there. There's a probe blocking it for a moment.
You know, honestly, I think soO just thought he had it and didn't appreciate that there was a little bit more nuance here in the micro. Now, I don't know how much is actually left as far as energy goes on these Oracles, so he doesn't quite have that much sustain. He hasn't plugged this up fully. It's a little bit harder to make sure the Adept closes that entrance there.
Yeah, but I feel like there just might not be enough rallying across the map here for soO. Look at the mini-map. It's just so
like
sporadic.
Yeah, not enough. Okay, 2 lings being made into Banes here in the main. He's basically rotating the Oracle energy one by one, so there's always damage being output here. The Banes are going to finish.
Yeah, we're soon going to have a 5th Oracle out on the map, too. Now, these lings are going to get us around here on this Adept, but those Oracles can get tapped. Baneling's coming into the main base. Should be able to get a good number of probes, 5 or 6 at least. 6 do go down, but it's still 32 probes to only 20 drones. Lings are still in production here for soO. And now with 5 Oracles on the map, there's just always going to be energy.
That's it, GG. herO moves on. 2 very different games. Whatever soO comes up with, herO shuts it down.
herO just ran an absolute clinic in PvZ. That was crazy, man. 2-0 over Reynor, 2-0 over soO in convincing fashion every single game.
Why are the games going so fast today? This is crazy.
We're speedrunning it, man.
This has just been such a quick set of one-sided best of 3s. All right, we're going to go to an interview now with herO, see how he's feeling. He is moving on, getting that 3rd spot here in the round of 8 in Season 2 of Code S GSL. Let's see how he's feeling right now.
김준호 선수 오늘 준비되어 온 작전 100%
Congratulations, herO, making on your advancement. You completely defeated your opponent today, and today was a flawless victory for you. How do you feel right now?
이렇게 좀 쉽게 올라갈 줄 전혀
Well, I never thought I would actually make it to the next stage this easily. I thought it was a group of death initially,
힘들 거라고 생각했는데
so I knew it was going to be tough.
운이 좋아서 쉽게
But I think I was pretty
올라간 것
lucky in the end to make it easily.
조지명식에서 이제 가장 먼저 여기서 레이너 선수를 좀 골랐잖아요.
During the group nomination, you actually picked Reynor into your group, and then you played against him, and it was a 2-0 victory for you. So I think you kind of like showed how strong current players are.
레이너 선수를 뽑은 건 저그전은 하고 싶었는데
Well, I actually picked
마땅히
Reynor because I want to
뽑을
play a Zerg player.
워낙 다 친하다 보니까 마땅히
But then again, I'm really close with other Zerg players, so there weren't that many players to pick. So that's why I picked Reynor. And I think I was pretty confident today going up against Reynor, and I was able to show it on stage.
패치는 프로토스가 테란전에 좀 더 할만한 패치였다라고 생각이 드는데.
I mean, the recent patch, it kind of like favors Protoss now in the PvT matchup. So what are your thoughts on that?
테란전도 잘 되는데
Oh, these days my PvT has been going great.
테란전이 조금 저는 까다롭더라고요.
But in tournaments, it's kind of like the opposite. It's really hard to play against Terran player. So right now, I'm actually favoring against Zerg players right now.
궁금한 게 있는데 승자조 어윤수와의 그 1세트
So in the first game against soO,
최근에 많이
in Golden Aura,
공허를 먼저 찍었고 그 다음에
you actually went for the Void Ray
프로공의
first.
거신으로 넘어갔거든요.
And then you wait for the Colossi.
보니까 할가스도 늦고 육가스는 빠르고 바퀴기
And then you scouted his bases.
확신하고 예상해서 쓴 건가요?
And then were you predicting the tactics and the strategy that he was going to go for?
딱히 준비는 안 했고.
No, I didn't really make much preparations.
멀리 나와 있더라고요.
I saw his Overlord away from the
그래서
base.
이건 두기 잡고 좀 유리하게 스노우볼 굴릴 수 있겠다.
So I was gonna just catch two of them and then snowball my way to the victory. And then, I kind of like calculated everything, and then I had this path that I should have opted for, and then I took the advantage. So Reynor and you are 10 years different, 10 years old different. So we never really anticipated that you would gain the flawless victory against him. But how were you able to sustain such good mechanics?
지금 현장에도 와 있는데.
Well, my wife is here right now at the venue. She's been treating me really well, so all thanks to her. All props to her.
잘못 본 거 아니면 김준호 선수 주려고 핫팩 흔드는 걸로 봤거든요.
I did see her during the game
보네요.
on camera. It's so good to see you guys. The love, the romance, it's so good to see. So anything else you want to say to your wife before you go?
항상 챙겨줘서 고맙고.
Thank you for taking care of me.
사랑해 이번 시즌
I love you. I'll try to win this season and try to repay the debt. Once again, congratulations on making it to the next stage, herO. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Good to have you back here. Guys, short break coming up next. Reynor vs. GuMiho to see who will be eliminated first in Group B.